Now, going over to the political part of the podcast, you have Vivek revealing, quote, no to Neocons, unquote, pledge ahead of the debate. And that gets him about, this is going to his Twitter, and Vivek says, quote, stop World War III, go to noneocons.com. Or no, my grammar's terrible today, apologies. Not one, it's no to Neocons. The spacing is awful. But nevertheless, yeah, it's supposed to say no to Neocons pledge. Now, his pledge specifically says, quote, in order to be considered for a position within the Ramaswamy administration, every prospective political appointee must commit and sign the pledge. 1. Avoid World War III is a vital national objective. 2. War is never a preference, only a necessity. 3. A sole duty of the U.S. policymakers is to the U.S. citizens, unquote. So those are the top 3 things, if you want to join his campaign, you must commit to. And this is going to be a huge differentiator in the political community, and is a very unique move on the political chessboard, some might say, because a lot of the opponents, as he's fighting to become the Republican nominee, they're much more pro-war. I think Nikki Haley is differentiating herself, wanting to be one of the most active in the... how many conflicts is the U.S. involved in these days? Or perhaps the better question is, how many do we know about? But nevertheless, she is very much pro-supporting Israel by increasing the U.S. physical, and when I say physical, I mean bodies on ground involvement, in addition to fiscal cash involvement, which I believe most of the candidates are in favor of fiscally assisting the country because they are an ally. I think Vivek is being more conservative with his wording in that regard. He's saying that we should help them be able to stand on their own, which you could interpret by saying, give them a little bit less money every year. But it is very different than most of the other Republican nominees, where they are very much traditionally in favor of supporting those types of conflicts and wars. Although, interestingly enough, from a legal perspective, where the U.S., in terms of, we haven't officially declared war in decades. We have many conflicts, though. So, I wonder, given the people who already support Vivek, I think would probably be mostly supportive comments. But let's dive in and find out. So again, Vivek got about 138,000 views and 853 likes. So it's not one of his most popular posts on Twitter, to be sure, or as 15 people call it, X. Now, let's look at the top comments here. Someone by the name of The Great One says, quote, Vivek, you alone can achieve this, and you must win this GOP nomination, and you will, for God is real, and God has a plan, unquote. Got 20 likes. Someone by the name of Vero Group, who, perhaps that's his name, but he does not get an F for marketing because he has a cool vintage Camaro as profile picture. C-. Nevertheless, Mr. Verogep says, quote, no one on cons, unquote. Spelling and grammar be damned. But nevertheless, they did get 27 likes as one of the top comments. Let's see here. Someone named Bivalik says, quote, this is where you get a free toaster after the timeshare presentation, unquote, getting 7 likes. Someone did a Mr. Move to NH, has a picture of Wolverine in bed. It says me, and he's reminiscing on a picture, and the picture's been photoshopped to say, not being on the brink of World War III, getting 14 likes, which, yes, I think a lot of people are worried about that. So, interestingly enough, I'd say about 50-50 split. DV says, quote, the only anti-war candidate, both Haley and DeSantis, will fund both Ukraine and Israel. Insane. Getting 8 likes. So, interestingly enough, even though I don't think, statistically speaking, this is certainly not one of his most popular posts on Twitter, I think because it's so different than the other prospective Republican nominee candidates, this will be something to highlight in the debate. And for the people who are casting their ballots, I think that will be a differentiator that could help him or hurt him. It'll be interesting to see how many people, how many people go one way or the other, and if it is a net positive for his campaign, or perhaps will it actually have the opposite effect and actually hurt his campaign, he'll go down in the polls. Be fascinating to see, but as I always say, time shall tell. Thank you everyone for taking time to tune in today, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of November. So if you can click that button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment is a great way to help me know what I need to improve on in terms of slowing down my rate of speech, as well as working on my enunciation and decreasing my stuttering. Again, clicking the button may very well cure those things. It'll be interesting to see, but time shall tell. And lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.